Hello again. This is Jim with some more tutorial about how to use 3ds, how to work with 3D generating out of 2D drawings. The program I've got up here is Autocad Mechanical Desktop. And any drawing program that'll create vectors for you is going to be just fine. You just need to be able to save your files as a DXF at least. 3ds works with DWG also, drawing files. So this little drawing here in this little tutorial that I'm going to present to you is about how to use Loft. Now all Loft means is that you can take a drawing, a polyline preferably. You'll notice I've got this one split into two polylines. And this is a polyline hexagon, six-sided. And the magenta circle here is nothing in the world but a locator circle. When you start moving objects from your drawing into your 3D program, you need to precisely locate them. And oftentimes your snap will work differently for different shapes of polylines like these. And if you have one big circle overwhelming the drawing, you might say, when you move the entire assembly into your 3D program, it'll oftentimes locate the circle for you and ignore the odd shapes that are trying to come in with it. And that allows you to go ahead and do a precise locate. Of course, you get rid of the circle after you locate everything. But anyway, be that as it may, Loft means taking one object like this round cornered rectangle and putting it at one elevation and then putting your other shape, the top of your extrusion, on another elevation, some distance higher than your first one. And you wind up with this, you can extrude it from this shape as a base into this shape as the top. And the computer will completely blend all these corners as a rule. I'm going to show you that sometimes that rule doesn't hold fast and true. But anyway, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to explode both of these polylines. And I'm going to get rid of these inner lines here. And I'm going to make this all one polyline. And that's kind of an important thing to do. And we'll go PE edit, pick on any line. Yes, I want to turn it into a polyline, and J for join all. And it joined all that we're touching. It didn't have anything to do with any of these other shapes. So now that's all one polyline. This hexagon is all one polyline. And now we're ready to save the drawing. File, save as Loft, yes. And it's saved as a DWG file. I think I'm going to go ahead and save it as a DXF file. And you can see it comes up here with AutoCAD 2000 DXF. And we're saving that. Now we've got it in our file and we can go on. Oftentimes in working with AutoCAD drawings, you have to completely close the AutoCAD drawing that you're going to be working with. And that's not the case. We don't have to close our drawings when we're working with 3ds. 3ds will grab the drawing as saved. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and open 3ds. And we'll open this file. And we're going to pick out DWG Loft. Or rather DXF Loft. There. Let's see. Okay. Now as you can see, we have opened it, but when it first opens, when 3ds first opens, it opens into this creative window that if you're using another drawing program and you're not into some kind of professional, I don't know, what all this stuff is particularly associated with, but it doesn't have much use for someone that's working out of another program to make their sketches. So we just go into sketch here, and there's our drawing. Now what we want to do is we want to collect our base. I'm holding down shift, and our locator circle. That's all. Control C. And away we go with a new part. File, new part. And it'll bring up our new part dialog page. And of course, I know you get tired of hearing me say this, but you have to click on a plane before you can activate the 2D sketch. And there we are. Control T, paste it, and the circle locates it exactly dead center as long as you have this snap on. I'm hitting escape to get rid of what's on my clipboard. And now I can dump the circle. I don't need it. And of course, I want to create, see, we're on one plane. This is the XY plane. And we want another plane. We want another one that's going to be floating around somewhere above this one. So what we can do is we can deactivate sketch and go into modeling space, and then click on our plane adjustment window here and pick the plane that we want to right there, that we're going to jump forward. Let's go a bold half inch, 0.5, and close. Now we should have a half inch plane hovering above our other plane. There's our base plane, and here's our other plane. That's pretty cool. Now we can click on that new plane. That's our top. And let's go back to activate sketch. Here we are with our top. And through the top one, we can see the base one, sort of looking straight down on it. There's our base. We're going to now go into our sketch and pick up our little hexagon. And as soon as we click onto it, you can see all the others are dropped. As far as I hold shift so I can still get that circle. That locator circle is very important. Control C. And away we go. Back to our part. Control T. And our circle helps snap us right directly into where we ought to be. Get rid of the circle. Delete. Now we have our top, our little hexagon top, and our curved corner rectangle on the bottom. And I'll rotate this. I'm holding down both mouse buttons, and you can see there's our base and there's our top. Now let's go into modeling, part modeling, and this time we're going to pick our boss, add material, Loft. And it says, you can see our blue sketch, our latest, our hexagon, has been loaded. Now it wants to know what's your other point here, and that's going to be sketch 1. So now we have our original, which is sketch 1, our top, which is sketch 2. And it says nothing else. There's nothing else blue. Everything's been done. Let's go ahead, okay. And it's figuring it out. And presto, there's our part, lofted exactly where we wanted it. Now, I told you that there would be some idiosyncrasies on this. Let me shift this over into gray. I just left-clicked an empty space, and that made it go gray. Now I'm holding down both keys to rotate. And do you see the mistake, the error? Here, the program picked up from the dead center of this base side right here and lofted right up to that corner. But on the other side, it didn't do that. It clicked onto this, it somehow attached itself to this intersection, which would be an intersection for a polyline, but originally it was an intersection. So the computer remembered that little point and dragged that up to the point of the hexagon. So our object is not perfectly symmetrical. as you can see from this view right here. Let me get it pointed directly above. And you see how that skewed over to this, and it threw this off, threw this line here off. This line should be more located down here as it is right there. And I've tried mirror imaging, slicing these in half and then mirror imaging. It doesn't matter. The computer will still do that. So I think it simply has to do with the way, the shape, the size, and so forth that you are trying to morph. You're morphing from one shape, four-sided object with curved corners, to a six-sided object with no curved corners. And so some of these programs, now Autocad would not do that. When you loft in Autocad, it's a direct, right up the button. But some of these other programs, you know, I think I paid $150 for 3DS, and an Autocad. If I bought a new program when I was in the business working with Autocad, I think I paid the last version, which was, I can't remember what it was, but the last version I bought, I think it was 2010 Autocad, cost me $6,000 bucks. So you can see you get what you pay for. Now that's not to rag anything on 3DS. It's a great little program, and normally it works great. If I had circle here, it would probably just bring it right up perfectly. But I chose this hexagon to the curved corner rectangle, in order to demonstrate that it doesn't always do what you want it to do. I'm sure the 3DS folks are working on it, getting that fixed. But anyway, there it is. Now you could conceivably export this. You just go to File, or you bring everything up here and export. And if I export it, which I'll go ahead and do here for you, new part, we'll call it junk part. And it's going to export it as an STL file. I can save. And you get this little dialog. Yes, there it goes. It's exported. As soon as you get this black window, which is generating the STL code, now I could actually load that into my 3D, my Simplify 3D interpreter here. And let me import that. And junk part, there it is. The STL file is, boom, there's this little oddity of a shape here. It's ready to print. If that's what I wanted, that could be what? A jack stand for a model car? I don't know. Could be almost anything. Any little odd shape. But that's how it is. And if I want to go ahead and print that, I would just hit prepare to print and go straight into my tools catalog, my tools dialog, and print away. It would probably take just a few minutes to print that little thing. But that's how it is. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening. I'll see you on the next tutorial.